Hey, Moneymaker!
What's good? Oh my
God.
I know, right? You guys, look, we're super excited. Welcome to the Helping Families movement. You guys, I'm telling you, we are so lit right now. My name is Marquita Thomas.
And I'm Camille Westmoreland.
And you guys are in for a treat because we got none other than the economist herself. I mean, the money guru, the woman that's making it happen. She got oil wells, she got airplanes, she got all this other kind of stuff going on. And she is about to get ready to talk to you guys about the state of this economy, what's going on, what we need to be thinking about, what we need to be doing, and that there's another way, it's a better way. And that's what you're about to get ready to listen to because none other than herself, your Tankard.
Hey.
How you guys? You look great. Like your background and everything, like your kitchen and stuff. Office. Okay. I love it.
So before we get started, guys, we want you to make sure you go ahead and start your watch parties. You share this feed, tag some folks. Because these are the conversations that you should be having every single day. And so we're definitely honored to have Dr. Jewel Tankard on the line, who we are honored to also be able to call our spiritual mother, our pastor. So we get the spiritual, the practical, the financial. Like we get all of it. Like, yeah, we real blessed though.
Oh man, so cute.
So for those who are on, you see that our topic is about possessing a no lack attitude. And I can honestly say over these years that I've been connected with Dr. Jewel, she has like jerked the slack out of me from having the lack mindset. And sometimes you have a lack mindset and you don't consider it a lack mindset until somebody brings it to your attention that it's a lack mindset. And so
that part.
Right. That's how it was for me. It's like when you be like, man, I can't do this until this. That's like a lack mindset versus changing, even if you can't do it, changing the way you say it or whatever plays a major role in what those things are that's going to manifest in your life. And so shout out to you, Dr. Jewel, for helping me change my words and my mindset and my thought process, because I'm seeing it manifested every area of my life, even now because of the words that I changed. And so we're going to turn it over to you first. I have a question for you.
Yes.
So with everything that's currently going on and things like that, people have their different thought processes where it's concerned. And I know one of the things that you taught us is like, well, we're in Forex or we're trading because of you. And one of the things that you said that has always stuck is money is moving every single day. So if money's moving every day, I should be making money every day.
Hello.
So what would you say to the person who, you know, may hear of the opportunity of learning this skill set or doing other things, but it's like, I don't have time because I got to do this, or I don't have time because I got to do that. But those different things they have to do aren't producing income for them. So what would you say to that person?
Wow, that's such a good question. Okay, so let's see. Where do I want to start? So I think first, it's understanding that there's more, right? Even in my life, yeah, baby. Even in my life, you know, I'm constantly aware of the fact that God created me for so much more than even what I've already accomplished, and not ever becoming impressed with what you currently have, even if it's good, right? Like, don't ever get impressed with the crib. Don't ever get impressed with the vehicles. Be grateful for them, but don't ever be impressed, because sometimes when you start getting impressed with where you are, you stop really going to that next level, which is why most adults, I think, they achieve a certain amount of success. And then after that, they kind of plateau or stagnate because somewhere subconsciously, they've kind of met their goals, or they like to say, people like to use the phrase, we do good. What is doing good? Like, define what is doing good, first of all. And then realize that there's always an answer. So you just have to, like, I was just picking out some fabric because I'm reupholstering like my couch in my office and my kitchen chairs, and y'all so pretty. I can't wait. And I was having so much fun. And I picked out this one fabric, and the lady was like, oh, I don't think it's not enough of that. I said, I really don't like those words.
Come on.
I really don't like those words. I said, let's find a fabric. that's comparable to this, that's still going to give me the quality and the color that I like, but I don't like those words. She was like, woo, you really don't. I said, no, and I didn't bark at her, but I was just letting her know, like, I don't receive that. Like, there's always an answer. So even when people, kind of feel like, I tried to do this, but it didn't work. Well, if you can't go through the front door, then go to the back door. If you can't get in the side door, go through the roof, right? Like they did in the Bible. They took the man who needed to be healed. They couldn't get in because the crowds were so big. They went and got a ladder with a bunch of crazy friends and said, I'm getting up on this roof and we're dropping him down because he has an appointment with Jesus and we can't miss it.
That's good.
So that has to be like kind of your attitude. Like, you have to be really aggressive. You can still be gracious. You can still be a nice person. This doesn't mean that you are overly ambitious. You don't think about people or their feelings, but it means that I'm going to stay aggressive about goals.
I love that. I love that. And so yesterday we were on and we had an opportunity to hear from Alex. So I think you might have heard part of Alex's thing, but one of the things that came up yesterday.
Alex was great too. He was great. I love Alex.
He's hilarious too, like real talk. But one of the things that he said that was.
I tell Keelan I said hi.
I want to say hi.
Hi, Key. Hi.
Girl.
He's okay.
He done pulled his tooth out.
Look at the tooth angel. I'm about to see what the tooth angel got some money for you.
Yes, tooth angel.
Yes.
Smelling some more.
He's so cute. He's adorable. I love you.
Okay, so let's talk about learning new things. And I can say, because of course, Marquita and I, we also help run Dr. Jewel's entire brand. So we've been able to see her evolve and grow year after year after year. And one of the things that I can say about Dr. Jewel is that she's always learning something new. Like, listen, before as soon as I met her, she was already like getting the bag, like racks on racks on racks on racks, right? But she never stopped learning to continue to grow. And I noticed that's a difference. But like when I meet wealthy people, they're always looking for other ways to evolve, grow, and make more money. They're not just stuck in one way. They're always looking to evolve and grow. And like even in her evolving and growing, well, I'll let you tell because I was about to tell the story, but I'm like, I'll let you tell. But one of the things that I really loved to watch happen, because Dr. Jewel, she's always been about her business. So let's just take Cyrene, for example, going to Howard. You already had a plan in place to cover school for Cyrene. But through her learning and being willing to open new stuff, she didn't even have to touch that, but a new skill set opened up for her to, pay for that. So let's talk about that. Like you may have a plan, but being open to new plans could also create more increase in flow because by you not having to touch that money for that, that was more increase for you.
Your questions are so prophetic. Where did that anointing come from? But no, I think that's what happens with a lot of people. They're so analytical. And I pray for this every day. I pray for this for everybody that's connected to us. God, help us adjust and change quickly. Because honestly, in order to really get to a point where you're connecting with successful people or connecting with successful mentors, I've learned, Camilla's learned, Marquita's learned. There's lots of changes all the time. We had another change today. But you know what? I just smile with change because at the end of the day, I'm like, God, you know what? My footsteps are ordered by you. And I'm not going to be so stuck in my way or my plan or like anybody will tell me that works closely with me. I'm like, I try to be the most low maintenance, easiest person to work with. And even if somebody's like, well, I feel like they're taking advantage of you, but you know what? Nobody can, because what God has for me, he's going to have for me. So you just have to kind of set a mindset that I'm open. I started a trust account for Cyrene when she was a baby. Right after her biological father left, I was very intentional about we weren't going to struggle. I didn't know what that looked like because at the time I was driving a little Ford Escort that I bought from a dealership named Melfire back in Detroit. If anybody from Detroit, everybody remember Melfire, child? I went and got me a red Escort and we were working it out and times were tough. But I had just determined that like, I'm not going to live this way. So I started a trust account for her. Then it was time for her to go to school. There was another flow of income in the precious metals industry that opened up, and it allowed me to use that money. So what am I saying is that you have to just set your heart to stay open. Yes, I had plan A. Maybe I had plan B, or maybe I thought I wanted to do this, but you know what? I'm just going to stay open. And I just trust that it's going to all fall into perfect like alignment where I'm going to have the advantage, or God is going to make sure I'm blessed. So I would just say to anybody that's watching, especially those who went to traditional school, which is why I would encourage everybody, take money and invest in your children. Take money and invest in their exposure. Take money and invest, you know, right now we're not really traveling, but invest. Even now, my children are grown, but I don't just look for regular vacations. I want an experience. I want them to be exposed to a Mediterranean house off of the coast of, you know, Arizona, or we're talking about going to Greece. Like, I want them to see all of the different cultures and all of the different people, because these are things that help to shape how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the world. See, the reality is most people become wealthy not just because of desire, but they're working on themselves. They're constantly investing in themselves. They're constantly making adjustments, and they just make a decision like, I'm going to be wealthy. You know, even outside of my husband's wealth, who I'm so proud of him. Like, he's an amazing man, but there are things that I wanted to have for me. And so you just got to stay open and just say, whatever comes, like, it's going to work for my advantage, but I'm not going to get stuck in my ways. And if it doesn't happen this way, I'm not going to do it. I've been able to come into a lot of deals because I learned to play team, right? And I let other people be right.
That's so good. But you know what, Dr. Jewel, the one thing that I love about you, and I have watched from working with you for the last 14 years, which has been an honor and a blessing. I mean, I'm telling you, because you guys, this is the part that we always talk about, and that's the importance of relationship. And I took advantage of that relationship. I pursued that relationship, you know. And the one thing that I love so much about you, Dr. J, is that you have the type of attitude that it is like no money left behind and no person left behind.
Yeah.
And that has, like, for the last 14 years, what I have grasped from you was that right there. No money left behind.
Yeah.
And no person left behind. So I take on every opportunity that I come across. I take on that same mentality. Is that I'm always looking out for the people. I'm always trying to pull other people in. You know what I mean? Because you have taken the time out to say, you know what? You know, when I didn't even see certain things in myself, as you know, you were there, you were helping to build me up, helping to show me, helping to guide, all of those things, you know what I mean? And you understand the importance of that, because most of the time we could literally be smack dab right in, you know, sitting right next to our purpose, doing what we're supposed to be doing, but we don't even take advantage of it. We can be right in the room, but not actually having a seat at the table because we are too afraid, or we feel insecure, or we feel inadequate, or we don't feel smart enough, or we don't feel like we can't measure up to the other people that's sitting at the boardroom table. But when you have people like you, like myself, like Camille, that is like, no, you do have a seat at this table. That's the part that I hope people really take heed to, being able to open their eyes to see that there's people out there that are not just out there looking to gain and get things from you, but they're looking to help, to and give and place things back in you. So talk a little bit about that, because you have really mastered that thing. You have helped take a lot of people from the bottom to the top. I have watched you. You see what I'm saying? Help literally help people from 5 to 6 to 7 figures in the last 14 years. So let's just talk a little about that, because you did not give up on people.
That is so good. You guys are so prophetic. No, I think, you know, knowing that, you know what, God, I need you. I need your help. And let me stay in love with you, and let me stay in love with people. And as much as I'm about that bag, I always am more about the people. Go run after purpose. The prosperity is going to come. And so there's a such thing as being overly ambitious. And I want to make sure the numbers are right. And I want to make sure that it's a good choice. But at the end of the day, like, and this is where God comes in and helps you. Because sometimes he'll say, go and take that, and you take it because maybe he's trying to develop the fight in you to go get it. But then there'll be another time that he says, you can take it, but leave it. Leave it. Because he's saying, listen, I want to make sure that as I raise you up in influence, because with money comes power and comes influence. They all come together, right? And he wants us to be wealthy, and he wants us to be influential. But, and you all have seen this, if that rise in power and in money is not stewarded with Holy Spirit, you can turn into a monster. You're like, what happened? And so sometimes Holy Spirit will say, it'll be, and this is important because the more deals I do, the bigger I get with the bigger players, I can see, ooh, that was a test and I passed that. He said, yeah, because I never, ever, whether you are whether net worth is 5 million, 10 million, or 20 million, never, ever, ever get hardcore in relationships that were pivotal to getting you there. And even if you don't know them and they're just people, be mindful of how you treat them. And I really feel like that's the secret sauce. If you can stay kind-hearted, even in your aggression, because I'm very aggressive, and anybody knows that I'm very aggressive, but I'm also very mindful about people's feelings. I'm mindful about how I talk to people, because I can snap. But if I snap and they don't know that I love them, then I got to go back. Because the snap could be like, you need this, but it's like, but do they know you love them?
Good.
Ooh, that is so good. Oh my God, that is so good, because I think I was talking to somebody else and they were saying the same thing. Like, if once people have an understanding of your heart and they have an understanding, and you're willing to start to teach people, I've learned that people, it's just really the lack of knowledge, that people tend to only do what they know. And so if you're presenting an amazing opportunity to somebody, you're saying, look, this is it. This is something that could literally help your family, that can help your pockets, that can help your skill set. If they don't have a full understanding of it and you're coming off aggressive, like you're trying to get them to do something, they'll miss it. They'll miss the whole thing because it'll go completely over their head, because it's not what they're conditioned to. And this space that we are in, it's already over people's head anyway, because it was never designed for anyone to play in this field, to ever have a seat at the table. You see what I'm saying? So when you're coming and you're talking about a financial market that's $6.6 trillion every single day, the eyes of people get big and they automatically count themselves out when they should be counting themselves in to learn the opportunity, because it has been opened up to them. But if you're coming off in a way to where it's like, no, you got that then people end up missing. They don't understand the education that you could actually impart into them pertaining to world economics, and the economy. And that's one thing that I can definitely say, that I love having you as a wealth mentor in this space. To literally have an economist in my back pocket is absolutely amazing. You see what I'm saying? I've been able to invest. I've been able to invest in gold. You see what I'm saying? To have opportunities to invest in oil wells, in real estate, and all these other opportunities that I would never been opened up to if I did not take heed to the information and the wisdom and the knowledge that you had, because I could have easily shut you out. I could have easily heard the information that you provided and said, you know what, that's good, that's jewel. You see what I mean? Or no, that's a scam. Or no, I don't have the resources and the finances to participate in what she's doing right now. So I got to up my capital. And I could have counted myself out versus getting in the trenches, learning, developing, getting my capital up to where I can turn around in return, do exactly what you're teaching me. And so really talk to the people from a stance. Now we're smack dab in a pandemic. We're smack dab in the next recession. Which we have now just come up on. I remember the last recession we had. We were in an opportunity there, you know what I'm saying, 10 years ago. But it's the me 10 years ago looks totally different. The 10 years now in the same pandemic. You see what I mean? In another recession. 10 years ago, we were broke, busted, disgusted. We lost everything. We lost our jobs. Fast forward now, we got coins, we got money, we got houses, we got everything, and we're not front. We're good because I'm prepared. for 10 years.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I did not, when the recession happened in 2009 and 2010, I did not rely on the government. I started locking arms with people that had my answer, because I said I would never, ever fall back in a financial position to where we would never, ever have wealth, and we would be in a position of lack. And so I started preparing myself, because I knew that the next 10 years there would become another reset in our economy. So we had to be in position and be prepared. So we started preparing ourselves for, so now for such a time as this, we're ready.
Yes.
We're ready, so talk to people about that, because being an economist, being someone that's in this financial space, I think people see it when we're posting on social media and we're talking about we're closing and securing the bag. We just closed 100 pips on the trade. My team just closed 40 pips before we got on with you, and they seeing all of this stuff, but they don't have no idea of what we're talking about. And we're talking about money. We're talking about wealth. Can you just help the people really understand that this is not hard? It's just wealth, knowledge, and information. You just have to make the decision to become a part.
That is so good. And you're right. Both of you have grown immensely, and I'm super proud of y'all. And I think, the thing is, you just have to tell you something. I got to keep pivoting. It's just like, Dr. Heavenly called me, 2 weeks ago, and say, hey, I want you to come on a live with me and let's chat it up, girl. I was like, let's do it. She's like, I want to talk about the last days. I said, I'm going to tell you as much as I know on it. All I know is I'm out of here on the But anyway, and she said, okay. I said, cool. What am I going to get on? And she said, you're going to get on something called StreamYard. I was like, what's that? And, she told me, and I called Camille and I said, I want to start using it, because when I got on with her, I thought it was pretty dope. And now I started using it, and then you all quickly adopted it. So there's something to say about become a first adopter, develop a first adopter mindset, that I don't have to know all the answers. Listen, I will get in here and figure it out as I go. I just told Camille, I was doing and you guys need to register for the Legacy Blueprint virtual conference that we're doing. And I was on with Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, but I was doing an interview with Andy Tanner, and you guys are going to have an opportunity to see him. He is a Rich Dad advisor for all of the paper assets. So Andy's on this whiteboard, bruh, but it's digital and it's coming up on the screen. And I'm like,
she was happy.
She was lit.
I was like, oh, I was like, what is that? And I was like, I gotta order it. And so downstairs, my honey is playing with it. I said, baby, it's in. And so what am I saying?
You got it?
We can today.
I know, I can't wait to figure it out, right? And so, and even when we started using this, I was making mistakes and stuff, but I didn't care. I didn't care that I don't, listen, if anybody knows me, I don't care if I make a mistake. Mm-hmm. Just get in there. And I get some people's personality type is very structured, but all I can tell you, that's beautiful, because I love those people, right? Camille's like that. I love it. That's great. But just like in any trait that we have, it can work for you or it can work against you. Mm-hmm. So learn to, this is where God comes in at, let him temper whatever gifts you have, however you are naturally made. Like, I'm naturally a warrior. I'm naturally very aggressive. Mm-hmm. But I've had to allow God to help me to temper that. It's just like, as aggressive as I am, I'm not aggressive at home with my husband. I'm sweet, I'm kind, I'm all of that, I'm not like, nobody wants that. And sometimes when people hear success, they don't know when to push and when to pull. So just know that all of it is going to take editing. So you guys jump right here on this platform. You said, okay, this is what we're about to do. You just kept changing. You kept changing. You kept changing. You kept changing. You kept adding. You kept editing. You kept subtracting. Like, you have to just tell yourself that I'm a part of this whole evolution that's happening. I'm going to be a forerunner. I'm going to be a trailblazer. I'm going to be a history maker. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines and just look at everybody else. I'm getting in the game, and maybe you might feel like, I don't know my space. I don't know this. Guess what? If you keep running up and down that football yard, eventually you're going to learn what first down, you're going to learn what second down, you're going to learn when you hit a touchdown. But what you're not going to do is sit on the sidelines and watch other people play and say that's just for them. It is for you. Now, let me say this last thing. Even if you say, I don't even think I want to learn. Like, I don't feel like. You have to put your feelings aside. This is where people get in trouble. My good friend Lasado tells me all the time. Lasado made, I don't know, income disclaimer, no guarantees, but I think he made like 70,000 last month. But then he said, he took a L, maybe about 15, so he netted 65. It's a good day, right? But this is what people don't know. I don't like to train. That's what he said. He said, I don't like to train. He said, but bump what I don't like. Come on.
That's so good.
Because at the end of the day, what else is going to allow me to get on my phone and grow that kind of money and transfer it to a checking or savings account of my choice? The same day. The same day.
Making his own stimulus package daily.
So we have to get out of feeling. Do what you feel. I think feelings are overrated.
So overrated.
They're overrated, and they have caused a lot of people to not come into everything that they could have come into. Not just this. I mean, just period. Well, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like, and your feelings don't pay. Newsflash. Feelings don't pay. They don't. And so you stay stuck there and you're wondering, well, why did it happen for this person? Because that person was willing to say, feelings, I'm not listening to you. There are days I don't necessarily feel like getting out of the bed, but I have too much vision, right? And too many goals to just lay in the bed, right? Unless I plan, okay, honey, you and I are going to stay in the bed today. We plan that, but I'm not just letting my life be led by feelings, because I wouldn't have half of what I did, half of what I had. I could just say I'm living off of my husband. I got too much greatness on the inside of me to just say I'm living off of him. Like, God will be like, you talk to me when I made you, because I made you a queen. I didn't make you to lie around all day and get fat and let your husband take care of you. You bigger than that. You better than that. Get up.
Drops mic. She dropped it.
She dropped it
real hard.
But you know what? It's so good and it's needed. It's information that people need to hear, because it's time out. And I'm gonna be real. It's time out to just getting used to hearing what your flesh want to hear. It's time to get around people that are not impressed with you. And I remember Dr. Jewel saying that to me one time, like, she's not impressed. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I don't want people in my circle that feeds my flesh. If you understand what I'm saying, that if I'm in a situation and I'm feeling, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, it seemed like it's happening to me too. You know, the woe is me. And, you know, it's like everybody losing their jobs and money is and this. And then I have someone else in my corner talking some, yeah, girl, yeah, it is like that, child. Everybody doing this and everybody like that. Don't nobody want those type of people in their corner. I need people in my corner that's going to turn around and say, no, you are blessed, that God has a major plan for you. Mm-hmm. And that it's time for you to get up off your tail. And it's time to go to work. It's time to start doing the things that you desire to do, so you can begin to see the results that you desire to have. And you cannot do that laying on your back sleep. Okay, watching Netflix and watching other people's lives and watching their dreams come to pass, and you sitting up here dreaming that you wish that you can live in that house. Or you see somebody or a friend ride by and they just pulled up in a debt-free vehicle and you like, woo, 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 yay. And then once they pull off and you like, man, wishing that it could be you. It can be you. It absolutely can be you. Because there's so much vision, there's so much dreams, there's so much destiny, there's so much on the inside of you, but you got to surround yourself around people that have your answer and not your problem. And I just remember that. I remember that 10 years ago. I said, you know what? Yes, I am a stay-at-home mom. Yes, my husband takes great care of me. But at the end of the day, I know that I was created and designed for so much more than just being a stay-at-home mom and a domestic wife. Mm-hmm. There's so much more. And I am so glad that I answered the call, that I said yes, because me saying yes afforded me the opportunity to help hundreds of thousands of other people in the last 14 years, that I made a decision to turn around and say yes to opportunity. And I was able to turn around and tell someone else that was in the same position that I was in 10 years ago, in order to turn around and tell them, so no, that you can have more, that you can do this, that you can live your dreams, that you can be a great mom, a great wife, a great business owner, that you can still be able to be an asset to your family and not a liability. Because the reality is that our government, they don't care. You see what I'm saying? It was never designed for us to ever become wealthy. It was only designed, you guys, for us to just work inside of their bubble.
Right.
It was only designed for us to work for the 1% of the wealthy.
Yep.
That was what it was. And if we don't see anything else outside of that, then we'll continue to keep living life, and we'll think that after I retire, then it's death after that. And you never lived a life full of purpose. You never did the things that you desired to do. You was never able to bless how you wanted, never was able to write the check. I cannot wait for the day that I write $1 million check to the Destiny Center. Now,
me too, girl.
Hello.
Bless.
I am ready. I cannot wait to cut that check.
Thank you, Lord.
You understand? Because now what we're doing is blessing the kingdom. Now what's happening is that we're putting ourselves in a position to be able to change rules, policies, and regulations. And I'm an intercessor. I am a tither, and I am a giver. So those are everything that I am sowing and believing. That's tithers' rights. I'm ready. I'm like, open back up the economy, because I'm ready to go ahead and get what's mine. That's the type of bulldog attitude we got to have. And that's why we're on here right now, because we're on here letting you guys know that for the past 4 years, we have been setting our lives up. We have been developing a skill set in the trenches, in the background, literally setting our lives up, literally making money, literally being able to help other families and other people, learning a skill set that was never designed for any of us to ever participate in. And we did not hand over our skill set. We didn't hand over to someone else, like a financial advisor or a broker, to handle our money. Once we found out that there was an open opportunity and an open door for us to learn what they know, I would be a fool to turn around, know that there's a way that I could learn what they know, but then still hand my money over to them and say, no, you just do it. You take care of it. And then at the end of the day, I'm sitting back still scuffling and working paycheck to paycheck. This is the wake-up call. This is the type of information. These are the type of wealth conversations we need to be having in this time. And if you're watching this, I'm telling you guys, if you're watching this and you never heard of the term 4X, now is the time for you to stop watching, click the link, or get back with the person that invited you on a watch and say, you know what, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to run. You know what? Better yet, put in the chat, because if you don't even confess it, say it, speak it, then you'll continue to keep on living in it and living in denial. Put in the chat, I'm tired of lack. Put, I'm tired of lack. And then you say, this is my winning season. I'm tired of lack, and this is my winning season. Put it in the chat.
Yep.
Because today is your freedom day. Today is your freedom day. Today is the day that you lock arms with people that have your answer and not your problem.
Yep.
No more excuses. Then you make a decision right now. Because what else do you have?
And when they do this, Keita, here's the thing. A lot of times people say, I fought all my life. Well, it's time to get around fighters that win, right? You need to be with people that have a fighting attitude. You need to be with people that have a fighting spirit that will not be denied, but get around people that when they get done with the fight, they win. You don't want to just be around fighters that got a hard life and look hard and look tired and I'm tired of fighting. No, not that kind. You need to get like the Esther kind of fight, the David kind of fight, fighting the good fight of faith, waging war on sickness, waging war on poverty, and getting with those people that you already know they're going to find a way to win. They're just, no matter where you slice it, they're going to find a way to win. That's exactly what we are in our whole wealth family. It's like every conversation is like, you're going to find a way to win. So I'm excited.
I love it. I love it. So I hope that y'all enjoyed our little chat today. This was fun. Dr. Jewel, thank you so much for jumping on with us today. It was amazing. I know you've been like, we need to go live. You've been trying to get us live for a good minute. Months or something. I don't know. Maybe some years. I don't know.
Now you already got chronic with it. Y'all got chronic with it. I love that.
You quarantine.
Put together a flyer because all the people that are watching right now, you guys, every single day we're going to be going live. So we'll put together a flyer and let you guys know. I go live Monday through Friday. The girls are going to let me know what their schedule is going to be. Get your guests on here. Get people that you love on here. Get them on here because they're going to need this information. You know, we're not going back to a normal. It's going to be a new normal. So you want to make sure you position yourself to win.
Yeah, and then tomorrow, make sure y'all plug in at the same time. We're going to be talking about not leaving money on the table. A lot of times we are literally promoting Netflix shows and, you know, this and that, but we're not getting no money. Now it's time for you to promote something that's going to pay you for your recommendation.
Come on.
I'm just saying, it's a new season. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. We have more testimonies coming tomorrow. So we're really excited. Make sure that you get back with the person who shared this live with you. If you're ready to get started and you're ready to get plugged in, this is the opportune time to make a move. And one of the things Dr. Jewel always say is that you have to make a decision and then you have to start. Yeah. So now that you've made the decision, now it's time to start. Get back with the person that invited you on. And we will be back here the same time tomorrow. And we thank y'all for tuning in. God bless. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.